The Hyundai Kona has got its second facelift, but a facelift does not change the base of a car, and this base is already 4 years old. No worry, a new Hyundai Kona is on its way, but in the meantime, can this facelift make sure that this Kona can still compete with newer competitors? Or has it been overtaken by time? What has not changed though with this facelift is that this boot can still not fit a average sized Dutchman, because or well, maybe I fit, but not very comfortably. But anyway, hello there monsters and men, ladies and people. This is the Hyundai Kona facelift and welcome to Recharging. A reason why the boot can still not fit me comfortably is because the boot space hasn't changed. It is still 332 liters. If you fold down the rear seats, you get a boot space of 1114 liters. Enough space to carry all the luggage for 2 people, but if you are with a family of 4, it is a bit tight and you are better off looking for a Kia e-Niro instead. Now, let me talk about the things that have changed. First, this color. It is new and it is called Dive-In Jeju. Yeah, don't ask. What you can ask though is what I think of this color. And I think it looks great. It is a very awesome color. I would pick it myself. Another thing that has changed is the black plastics. It is gone. Gone black plastic around the rear lights. Gone black plastic around the wheels. It really upgraded the car. It looks more modern and well, it looks more expensive. And yes, the front of the car has also changed. Gone is the perforated texture that was, by the way, terrible to clean. No, it is all very smooth now. Again, I think the car looks more modern. What has not changed though is the placement of the charge port and that the Hyundai Kona still has no frunk. The most significant changes here in the interior: you have new air vents and a digital display in front of the driver. It is a fairly simple display though, but you have all the information you want. Then let me talk to you about all the things that haven't changed about the Hyundai Kona. The Kona is still available with 2 battery sizes, one of 39 kilowatt hours. That one has a WLTP range of 305 kilometers and enough power to do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 9.9 seconds. And a 64 kilowatt hour version, that one has a WLTP range of 484 kilometers and enough power to do 0 to 100 in 7.9 seconds. What also hasn't changed is the ridiculous impressive efficiency of this car. When driving in mild summer conditions, so it is around 20 degrees Celsius right now, I get a range of 500 kilometers. Yes, 500 kilometers. That is more than the WLTP range. The efficiency of this car is still unmatched by a lot of newer competitors. It is really impressive still. Charging the Hyundai Kona from 10 to 80% takes you around 50 minutes. And I know for today's standards that is quite a long time. But for the 64 kilowatt hour version I can overlook this, because that version has such an impressive range. But the 39 kilowatt hour version though, charging 50 minutes for around 175 to 200 kilometers of highway driving is not acceptable anymore. And therefore I would not recommend the 39 kilowatt hour versions for people who take a longer trip regularly. Charging on AC, the 39 and 64 kilowatt hour versions both have a 11 kilowatt onboard charger, so then charging the battery will take you around 4 hours or around 7 hours. So how can the Kona make sure you get the most range out of your charge? Well, the Kona does have 3 regeneration levels and you can adjust those regeneration levels with flippers behind the steering wheel. Besides that, there is a smart regeneration setting, and with the smart regeneration setting the car will use its radar to determine what is driving in front of you, and based on that it will adjust the amount of regeneration it does apply. Unfortunately though, there is no one pedal drive mode. If you want to come to a complete stop only by using regen, you can hold the left flipper on the steering wheel and then, well, the car will do that. And on the climate control there is a driver only mode. That means if you press that, the car will only heat or cool the driver's section and it will not waste energy heating or cooling the whole car. Then the driving of the Hyundai Kona, well, again, with the facelift this hasn't changed. That means you get a car that is easy to drive in town, easy to drive on the highway, a car that does not excite but will also not offend anyone. The only thing that you notice though, and especially on rougher surfaces, is that the tires make quite a bit of noise. A Volkswagen ID.3 for example is a lot quieter than this Kona. Another thing that hasn't changed, if you have the 64 kWh battery pack, you get 204 horsepower and 395 Nm of torque on the front wheels. And that is, especially on wet roads, sometimes a bit too much power only on the front wheels. They will slip. It is inevitable. Driving position then, very good adjustability in the steering wheel, good adjustability in the seat, and also the seat itself is really nice and comfortable to sit in. You can drive in this car for hours, no problem. Aside from the changes I already mentioned, nothing has really changed here in the interior. That means you get an interior with not the best materials in class. Quite a few hard plastics are being used, but everything feels solidly made. You can tell that this interior is already a few years old, because here in the middle you have this floating center console, but on the center console are physical buttons for your heated seat, your ventilated seat, your heated steering wheel, a cluster with physical buttons for the climate control. It's not bad to be a bit older after all. Cubby space then, well, the door pockets are not that big, but you have quite a big cubby here under your center armrest. Huge storage space here under the floating center console, and the glove box is of quite a decent size. On top of the dashboard is Hyundai's BlueLink infotainment system, and if you have seen other reviews from me of Hyundai's and also Kia's, because the same system is used in Kia's, then you know that I like this system. It is intuitive, it is responsive, and overall it is a nice system to use. And under the infotainment system there are also physical buttons, physical shortcut buttons, and a physical volume knob. Really nice. But overall the interior, it is an intuitive and practical place to be in. Oh, and right, this car also has an app to see your state of charge, preheat the car, stop charging, etc. Let's have a quick look at the rear seats. The seat in front of me is in my typical driving position. I am 1 meter and 85 centimeters and I have a little bit of knee room left and also a little bit of headroom. It is not recommended back here for people taller than me. And there are two other problems here at the rear of the Hyundai Kona. The first one is, when the driver's seat is in its lowest position and also the passenger's seat, you as a rear passenger cannot shove your feet under the seat in front of you. So if you have rear passengers, it is kind to raise up your seat a little bit. And second, because there is a battery pack here under the floor is quite high and therefore you have a weird angle here with your knees, and on longer journeys this can get uncomfortable. Besides that, there are no USB ports back here, but there is an armrest with 2 cup holders. Any changes in the driving and safety features department? Well, not a whole lot. The car already had adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist. Hyundai has now added highway driving assist. Highway driving assist is a combination of adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, but also a system that will automatically set the speed limit for you. So for example, the speed limit right now is 100 kilometers an hour, and when I set the cruise control to 100 kilometers an hour, the highway driving assist is activated, and when the speed limit changes to 120 kilometers an hour, the cruise control will automatically switch to 120 kilometers an hour. But this system is far from flawless though. In the Hyundai Ioniq 5, for example, the highway drive assist can also switch lane for you. This Hyundai Kona, it can't. And now it is time for my final verdict. Is the Hyundai Kona overtaken by time? In my opinion, no, it is not. Yes, there are newer competitors that drive better or are quieter or fast charge quicker, but in all these things combined, the Hyundai Kona isn't bad. And getting a range of 500 kilometers, more than the claimed WLTP range, with a 64 kWh battery pack, that is an efficiency that is unmatched by a lot of newer competitors. Again, really impressive. The Hyundai Kona is still a very impressive overall package, and if you are looking for a new EV in this class, the Hyundai Kona should still be on your shortlist. Only one recommendation: if you can, try and save a bit more and go for the 64 kWh version. And that was the review of the Hyundai Kona. I hope you liked it, and if you did, well, please give a like. If you have something to say, leave a comment, and it would be awesome if you subscribed. And then I would like to say now thank you a lot for watching, and as always, to be continued.